some signs of weakening. We're looking at a Cat 2 storm right now, but that is no reason to kind of cheer for joy just yet. We still have quite a bit of heavy rainfall, very strong wind that just continues to drift further and further across the state. The center of this is technically just positioned right smack dab just to the north and center of Highlands County tonight, and this continues to trail its way to the northeast, looking at right around 8 miles per hour. Those maximum sustained wind speeds still at 100 miles per hour. Again, that's around the immediate center, but let's look in a little bit closer to this because we still have quite a bit of heavy rainfall that this thing is producing, especially what was just outside of the eye wall. Now, that eye has really just started to kind of lose its strength, lose its visibility even, but you can still see some of that heavy rain wrapping around that, and that is positioned, as mentioned, right near and just north of Lake Placid in Highlands County tonight. Let's talk about some of this rainfall because I want to show you that we still have some flash flood warnings in place, one of which is for portions of Sarasota, Manatee, DeSoto, and even Hardee counties until 10:45 tonight. This is the one we've had for a few hours. Remember, we had that good swath of rain that just really lingered through past sunset earlier this evening, but we still have one more flash flood warning that actually is encompassing portions of not only northern Highlands, but even portions of Hardee and back into Polk County. And this is actually going until 1 o'clock this morning. This is really to account for this cluster right here, how it has been trying to extend a little further and further to the northeast, which again has been doing so very slowly. But basically that warning is getting ahead of where we're going to be seeing some of that rainfall that's falling right now, how it's going to be extending into more so of southeastern Polk County, how it will be extending a little further ahead. Look at that swath of rainfall estimated totals. We are talking, guys, easily over a foot and a half nearly. Again, this is more widespread swath. There's some isolated pockets in between that are seeing a little bit more than that, even a little bit less. But you make your way really to the south of that and just to the north, those totals do drop off just a bit. But this is a huge amount in the bucket in a short amount of time. We have a lot of even small rivers and creeks and streams in between, so that is going to allow for quite a bit of swelling as we go through the days and weeks ahead. That's one thing we are going to have to watch out for. But let's talk about what's happening on the backside of this. We still have windy rain just really sweeping through, gusts at times 50, 60 miles per hour. As you get closer to where we're seeing that heavier downpour in Highlands, that's where things are still exceeding 70, 80 mile per hour gusts at this hour. Look at Lake Wales. This is not only steady moderate at times with little pockets, especially on Highway 27 there, where it's steady heavy, and it's literally that sideways rain because it is just gusting at such a fast rate. Back out for our neighbors here in Hillsborough and in Pinellas. Pinellas, it's actually a little bit lighter and steady, but still breezy. All the way through South Tampa, back along the other side of I-75, the other side of the bay. That's where we're seeing still sustained wind speeds 30 to 35 miles per hour. Again, that's more of an average in about a 10-15 minute window. The gusts, the winds that burst through every once in a while, it has been reaching closer to 60, 70 miles per hour. And as we extend even up all the way through our northern counties, you know, there were some spots where we had Citrus, Hernando, and Pasco getting actually a little bit of scattered breaks in the rain. So you get a quick little swath that would move through, and then it would kind of be rain-free for a hot second, and then another push of rain would move through. Well, this has actually filled in within the past few hours. I want to bring our attention to Orlando because the bulk of this system is not only moving through Polk, but actually going to be pushing along I-4. And it will be skirting through Orlando, already seeing that motion around the flow, around those bands, around the center of Ian. That is 60 mile per hour gusts that are moving through the city, and there are a few spots where that's even exceeding that number, and these are rounds of some pretty decent downpours. I mean, that's the kind of rain that will hit you right in the face, and that extends all the way back into the Atlantic, right over Titusville, just north of Cape Canaveral, pushing all the way up towards Daytona Beach, and then wrapping back around to Osceola County as it pushes even closer down towards Polk. So we still have all this rain just circling through a good chunk of the center of the state, and we're not quite done just yet. Thankfully, the weakening will continue to happen, especially as this thing continues to drift a little bit more so to the north, and then drift towards Titusville, towards the east-northeast there. Likely remaining tropical storm status, at least those winds it will be, and trying to drift back up towards the southeastern portions of the Carolinas, South Carolina, even into the southeastern portion of the country, which actually will just swath over a lot of the rain along the east coast, and during high tide, adding more of that wind flow onto the coastline. So this still is not going to be something that we're just done talking about once it leaves Florida. We do have still other impacts across parts of the country. So let's talk about our future cast, because I know a lot of folks are wondering, well, when is the rain going to start to lighten up? What about hours. Just like our southern counties saw everything first, our southern counties will see things wrap up first. As we go through the overnight hours and really through tomorrow morning by sunrise, it is still going to be cloudy. We'll see a lot of the rain kind of wrap up, but there's still going to be some of it filling in through Highlands and into Polk counties. But as this really just lifts up and pushes along, the center of it pushes along I-4, notice how the rain, rather the wind, just wraps up behind it. At first it's very cloudy, then we start to get breaks in the clouds by late Thursday going into Friday. Believe it or not, that's actually some drier air that's going to try to push through, and that's what's going to be giving us some relief going into the weekend ahead, really cutting into the rain and really allowing us to make an effort with those cleanup efforts here at home. But those winds are going to just be howling for a bit, at least for a few more hours in some spots, more so to our inland locations. Some of our sites here we have lost a little bit of data, but big picture, sustained wind speeds 35-40, gusts still exceeding 70 miles per hour in some locations, not only around Sarasota, but even really through Highlands and into Polk County. So let's talk about some of these wind speeds as we go through the next couple of hours, all the way through the overnight hours until about 2-3 a.m. Sustained still at that 38 to about 50 mile per hour window, especially with the highest seeing right along Sarasota and Manatee counties, and then Highlands and Polk. But look, by Thursday morning, gradually everyone, that does start to come down quite a bit.